All right, thanks for that. Sorry for the delay. Hey, good morning, morning. So morning, Sudhir, can see you. Good to see Dr. Bhaskar, Deepak, Meenakshi, Mohit, Nitin. Pony, I know you're outside. Okay, good. Thanks for that note. Ram, R. Mula, I don't know what that name is. You can.
It is Rahul.
That'll be great. We have Somnath, we have Shruti, then Sudhir again. Hi, Suresh, Yashpal. Awesome. So we have a good chunk of audience. So we're going to go quickly on the values in that statement. That's the sort of order. Oh, Rahul. Okay. Yeah. I think last time you missed the session, right? So good to see you here. So we'll go through the core values. The purpose of the inner circle is, as always, to go through the values, make sure our value system is intact, etc. Recharge your batteries every week on this amazing journey to become a data scientist or machine learning engineer or an AI scientist, as the case might be. And then thereafter, we're going to go towards today for the CV workshop. Specifically today, the focus will be how to make a awesome kick-ass CV to crack AI jobs and AI interviews. That's pretty much it, right? So if you have your resumes, if you have your notes, get them out, because we're going to make a lot of notes on what we're going to do. I'm also going to be sharing the mind map to the inner circle community members. Those of you watching on YouTube, etc., you'll have to sort of look at the link, right, as the case might be. Okay, cool. So without further ado, everybody's excited. So type ETL, eager to learn. Now let me bring the mind map. Awesome, Somnath. Good. And there might be a little bit of noise because my father will be taking my dog out at 12. So that'll be one disturbance. And if there's anything else, I apologize in advance. Feel free to turn on your videos so I know, because if you start sleeping immediately, it'll be very embarrassing for me. So at least after 1 o'clock, you start yawning at all. Okay, so let me get that sheet out. All right, so let's go back to our vision. So what is my vision for Pixeltests? I also have an awesome announcement to make for the inner circle community members, and then I'll be releasing it to the world. So I want you guys to know first. I think I've told one or two of you individually, but the rest. The vision for Pixeltests or this company, this startup, is to make it very disruptive. I mean, disruptive is an overused word, but to make something really awesome. And my vision is or our vision is collectively, the current education system is broken, upskilling, etc. So, they're not outcome oriented. This is an extremely outcome oriented experience, right? You have a goal card. You should have. So some of you are new, no worries. Just feel free to catch up. Hang in there and just sort of catch up. I'll be talking a few topics. That is a little more later. You have the path for you is specifically whoever's joined is first is the goal card, goal setting. Second is start with the data science mastery, which means introduction to Python, etc. The specific modules go in that step only, and then it'll be statistics. And once you finish statistics, you can ping me. You can get into the rest of the modules in machine learning. So current education upskilling techniques are broken. That I think is without any sort of no doubts there. And feel free to push me back, guys. Like you gotta question me. I'm not God, like, or whatever. Keep like push me back. Help me also set the vision. You're also stakeholders in this. The idea is to build the world's largest set of data scientists, machine learning, and AI engineers, and that's important because all of us can collectively help each other, right? So some of you are working maybe in Microsoft and Google or wherever. Some of you are in Infosys, TCS. Some of you are students. So I want this, the network effects will become bigger, right? So tomorrow, if this could be a place to hunt for co-founders. This could be a place to hunt for. Sorry about that. Just ignore the puppy. This could be a place to hunt for jobs, right? Referrals and etc. Right? To collectively empower every human on earth to live a fulfilling and lucrative career, right? See, fulfilling and lucrative is important because there are two cases, right? Fulfilling means job satisfaction. Lucrative means high-paying salaries, right? Or salaries that you think are commensurate to your capabilities. Now, there are two things there. So the outcomes can be 2 power 2, 4. You can have a fulfilling, yet not a lucrative career, right? Means you can have a great job satisfaction, but really not, the money is not reflecting, right? That's case one. And sometimes the job satisfaction is not good, but obviously the money is good, right? I was there. I was in pretty much all cases. Sometimes you neither have job satisfaction, you neither have money. That can happen. And what is the other case? And obviously the other case is the fulfilling and the lucrative. That can happen in data science, right? That can happen in machine learning. I've seen every problem I solved that night. I slept very well because it's a combination of good mathematics, statistics, coding, etc. And I kept telling in the webinar as well, coding can be picked up easily, like anything, right? Okay, so code of honor. Coming back to this, remote. We are all in different parts of the cities. I mean, I think if Shambhavi joined, she would have been from Singapore. Unfortunately, she couldn't. Live and learn anywhere. This whole concept of going to school, going to a classroom, brick and mortar doesn't exist. I mean, even if it does, it's legacy, right? Growth, learn new tools, new techniques, master them. So first is finish your set of courses that's been there prescribed. Only then go after the new tools and techniques. Opposite of that is unroll, right? I told you, unroll from everything. Unroll from every possible thing. You must have one inbox clean and no subscriptions, nothing, for at least 90 to 120 days. This is a fairly a good journey, but a difficult journey. So, right. So like I said, I was just telling somebody else also, the number of jobs of AI scientists is actually less, but they're high paying jobs. The number of jobs in Java, in all these other ways are very, very high, but pay is less, right? You have to know what you're after, right? This is like, I'm not trying to scare you, but this is reality. This is like IAS, right? In that, like, you have to, but once you get it, it's tremendous, right? So there'll be new techniques and tools. I'll constantly be upskilling. I'll constantly be telling you that. So you don't have to search for 5 different things to get to one. I'm going to be doing all the research and just blindly use them. Clarity, I've seen enough and enough. The best jobs are going to not the best technical people, to the people who are technical and can market. So I can't stress the emphasis. If any night of the day you feel like, oh, you know what, I have great technical skills, but I can't communicate, then you're off. You're not in the game. Communication doesn't mean, like I keep saying, Shashi Tharoor kind of English and all. Not that I'm denigrating it, saying something to him. Succinct, precise, articulate, right? Like MS Dhoni, right? It's easy to speak 50 words. It takes twice as much time to speak 20 words. It takes 4 times as much time to speak only 2 or 3 clear, articulate words. You have to get to that mode, right? Because again, employers, everybody is just fatigued with so many low quality applications, mediocre. You're not that. You're high quality, you're aiming for high quality, you should get that, right? 1 second, guys. Just one. I'm so sorry. Efficiency, yeah. So speed of taking action. See, actually, it's becoming tougher and tougher to take action. I'll tell you why. The problem is not you. The problem is how the world and the FANG companies are set up. Even though we want a job in the FANG companies, did you know that most of the FANG people do not use FANG? What does that mean? Over 65% of the people working in Facebook do not use Facebook. That means their spouses, their kids, everybody, nobody uses Facebook. Because see, there's so much music going on, it's very difficult to take action because you're one step away, 1 second, 1 nanosecond away from getting distracted, myself included, okay? So that's why all these blinders become more and more important, right? The number of distractions are actually increasing now compared to like 100 years ago, right? When it was still fairly reasonable enough to concentrate, right? Abundance, lots and lots of opportunities out there. This is a community that we're building. Don't try to sidestep the other person. Be genuinely happy about the other person, right? The world's GDP right now is 27 trillion. It's continuing to increase. Plenty of fish out there, right? So develop that sense of helping other people, etc. So charity, I keep telling it again. I will tell it again and again. 10% of your time plus money should be in charity. 5% you must give time. Not money. Money is not, oh, you go on the road, some beggar is coming, give him money. No. Please genuinely make time. So once a week, I go to like the LV Prasad, the blind hospital, and sit there and work for them. Now it's remote, of course, but we give free software and all that. We also have paid software, but do something like that. Or you can even educate, teach 5th class math, 6th class, but it should be consistent for the next 5-10 years. 5% of 40-hour weeks is 2 hours, right? So 40 hours a week is for going for job, do something. Charity doesn't mean helping some poor uncle or this thing, giving some random money. No, Charity means after the third or fourth month, you should get bored of it, but you must continue to do that. Super focus. Okay. The idea is you've come into this, so that means you're already an action taker. That's great. But try to keep that momentum. Everything is about preserving momentum, guys. So data science finisher is the first thing for those of you in data science. Take about 2 to 3 months and finish it. Yeah. Finish it properly. Look at every piece of your body, every piece of your mind, where you're getting distracted, etc. First, I would start is you're going to be classified as a data science finisher. If you finish your goal card, stick your goal card, and if you're listening to Earl Nightingale twice a day, it's 31 minutes, 25 seconds, twice a day fully, not while brushing, not while something else, properly riveted to it. In fact, somebody actually, one of my previous students actually by-hearted the entire thing. That's insane. Even I haven't done that, but that's really good. How many of you are listening to Earl Nightingale twice a day? Please type here, yeah. 2 times. If you're listening twice a day, please type 2 times. For those of you who are new, no worries. I'll just give you that link as well. It's the strangest secret. Excellent, Dave. Proud of you, man. So here is the link that I put on the chat, right? Please listen to that. I'll just put that morning once and evening once. For those of you who don't have the link or on YouTube, this is my link. Hey man, good. Continue to listen to it. Others must, yeah. Don't ignore these things. Ajit, good to see you here. Chandrakant, good to see you. Meenakshi, Mohit, Nitin, everybody. Ponni, you too. I know you're on the travel move, but you have to listen to it. Don't miss a day of it. Everybody thinks it's about tools and tricks. It is not about tools. It is only about the mindset. You have to do a brain surgery on yourself, right? Suresh, Dr. Yashpal, you have to listen to Earl Nightingale twice. It's okay. Start now and do whatever it takes to listen to it, because the mind's operating system should change. It's like an OS upgrade, right? iOS and all. You have to make your goal card. Don't think of this like some. I mean, I'm the most rational guy you can ever find, but even I do that. Keep a goal card. You must touch it. You must feel it. You must see it. You must see it multiple times a day, right? And then because you're fighting not you're fighting all the social media, these distractions. That is just one step away, one click away, one eyesight away, right? So you need your book of goals. Write down your goal every day. Oh, you want a FANG job for 4 lakhs a month. Write it every day, every day, every day, every day. Then the positivity will come. Otherwise, you'll become negative. Negativity is easy. Tons of people are out there. 9 on 10 people on planet are negative around us. Oh, it won't happen. Oh, I procrastinate. Oh, this fellow was cheating. Oh, that guy is like this. Only if you have positive energy, that abundant energy will come back, and then you can do something, right? You're in the energy management game. You're not in the data science game, right? So wherever you have high touch points, just write it. Yeah. Okay. So next, introduction to Python and programming. So starts with Python programming concepts. I think Dave, you finished it. Congrats, you became a data science finisher. I think you have statistics left, right? So EDA and celebrate wins. If you finish one module, put it on the group, etc. Once this group hits about 200 to 250 members, we'll shift to Telegram, okay? Because I don't want to keep it spammy. Make explanatory visualizations, right? All of these are structured in a way where only industries, high frequency questions are coming, right? Nothing more, nothing less, Baba, right? Because like I said, we are in the business of saying no. 4 times in a day you say no, once you say yes, then you are successful. If you're saying 4 times yes and 1 time no, you will get overwhelmed, you'll get confused. And a confused person will only have a confused outlook. No matter how talented you are, no matter how much energy you expend. Follow the process, guys, please. Statistics also have designed it in a way where only the industry asks these, right? Only these 4. If you can just get and finish this, maybe watch it once more. Or my request is nothing more is going to be asked in industry. Good companies at least. As T-test, chi-square, confidence, Bayesian, sprint. All right. So machine learning, I think we can get to it a little later once, linear algebra, linear models, applied modeling, and Kaggle. Any technical questions are there towards the end? I have that piece of question. Deep learning also, we have convolution neural networks, recurrent neural networks, LSTMs. Again, natural language processing. Get the basics done. Once the basics are done, you can go for the advanced concept. Don't do too many things, okay? Doing 2 things 100 times is much better than doing 100 things once or twice, right? So we have a Hall of Fame interviews for students. The criteria is simple. Make sure you get like 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month paid internship, not free. Freshers, I've kept 5 lakhs. You can easily get up to 6, 7, 8. If you're a little bit reasonably, your attitude and your conscientious, you'll get it. Working professionals, if your current package is less than 10, you must aim for at least 50 or 100%. Yeah. Post data science. If it's about 10 lakhs, at least a 30%. Above 50 lakhs to 1 crore, I've seen that it kind of reduces a little bit, which is okay, but you still can get 20-25% hike just by positioning. And today we're going to cover the CV as well. How many of you have done the goal card, guys? Type GL. Goal card is done. At least goal card. Excellent, Somnath. Very good. Dave. Yeah. And submit the assignment for the goal card. I would love to see your assignment for the goal card, right? At least you must have a goal. If you don't have a goal, see, it's like how Earl Nightingale says, right? It's like a ship. You might have a powerful engine. You're really smart. You're talented. But a ship without a sailor will just go derelict on some island. You guys remember that, right? Okay. Traits. These are the traits that you want to develop to. If you don't have, also no problem. Work on it and you get to it. Watch my success mindset video where I'll tell you how your mind starts behaving. And I'm going to add maybe a lot more videos on the mindset. My request is be self-reliant, right? As much as possible, fixed on your goal. If you're in a predicament or a quagmire, it is because of you. I mean, again, this is not like some cliched thing, but it's real. You're the sum total of the choices you've made, right? Fixed on your goal, be absolutely with us on your goal. Don't have multiple goals and all. If you have a spouse, if you have kids, etc., jointly make a decision, make a goal. I'm only interested in a career goal. If you have other goals also, that's fine. If you have weight goal or whatever other goals, keep different goal cards for that. That's not my method. That's a method by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. You can buy that book. It's really good. He has a book called The Law of Success, not principles, the law. Okay. And I'm hoping you guys are successful. That's why you're here, right? Responsibility, events plus response equals outcome. We'll go, that's fairly straightforward. Being a fast implementer, take action quickly. Right? Hindi mein there is kaal kare so aaj kare so aap. Similarly, just implement fast, whatever takes you to the goal. Everything else is a distraction. Fast implementer doesn't mean, oh, Amazon by go and order one quick thing. No, that is not fast implementation. Fast implementation means, okay, I got this course. Let me just quickly go open it, start sitting, right? Clear my desk, do things, goal book, such basic things on your goal, right? Be persistent. This is a long journey. Be persistent, be tenacious, be a roach. Don't be a hero, don't be a heroine, be a roach. Who's a roach? Cockroach. Cockroach is probably the only thing that's there before humans and after humans. Be a roach, guys, please. Essentialist, be minimalistic. That's the way I do it. My recommendation to you is to be that. Don't be like, oh, I got a great job, now let me buy a big car and all. No need. Larry Page, Google's founders, they still drive a Prius. Prius is less than a 20 lakh car. Only like if you're going for showy stuff, you won't get value. If you go for value, you won't have to go for showy stuff. Remember that, imbibe it. Tell your friends, family also. Easy to get tempted, easy to get distracted, but you must have like that monk like of austerity, right? Keep your food habits simple, your everything simple, but invest in where it matters. Like for instance, buy the best laptop, buy the best router, buy the worst watch. I don't even use a watch, right? Like that, so on and so forth. Whatever is essential. Creative, I think all of us are creative enough. Just hustle, keep hustling. Be humble. That's very important. It's easy to be humble when you don't have like many things going for you. It's when you start getting that modicum of success, it's very difficult to be down to earth. Please be a giver. Continue to give. Like I said, I wrote the things about charity. Spiritual, that's something I'm getting into also. My recommendation is get into one of them, which is I do Vipassana. I recommend to you. I think one of our members is trying to get into that as well. Excellent. So metrics. So I haven't started this, but the idea is by November-ish, maybe Diwali time, we're going to start taking a poll of this. Twice a day, you have to do Earl Nightingale. Even if you don't write a day of code, it's fine. You forget eating food also, it's fine. Just please listen to it every day. No other motivation, no other movie, nothing. Those are all things that will come as like shiny object. This you do religiously, right? It's like push-ups. Very difficult to do, but do it, right? And your mind, every ounce of your body will be saying no, or something else will happen, something more important, but no, just do that. First thing, waking up first thing in the night, right? Finish all your Instagramming, all your other things, and then listen to it only, then sleep, right? Goal book you have to do, guys. So this will be 10 points each. Goal card, if you've created a good, clean goal card, right? In a handwriting that at least you understand. Unsubscribe from everything. I keep telling you, I continue to tell you, even I get distracted. I keep getting emails, everything. Just keep a ruthless focus on this. You have clicked on this ad, you've come here, more ads will show up. Your mind will keep telling you, oh, we should have done that, this, that. That happens to me also. Just be obsessed. If you can't get to obsession, get to focus. See, focus, obsession, then possession. That's what happens. Measure screen usage time. We have not done it, but if you're a gamer and all, just get rid of it, please. I know some of the members are gaming. I used to also game. In fact, my world rank in one of the games was 23. Not very proud of it. I also spent a lot of money. I know a lot of people spend on PUBG and all these things. Please get rid of it. You'll do all those things and then log your time, and then suddenly you'll be like, kuch nahi ho raha, I'm unlucky and all. No, it starts from you. I only request 2 hours, 1 hour of theory, 1 hour of programming a day, right? Maybe in the weekends you can stretch, right? Log your family time. The reason why I go into these details is also it's important. Family time doesn't mean spending 2-3 hours watching a movie. No, every day. This is my recommendation. Feel free to take it or no. Map out exactly what you're going to do with them. Half an hour or 45 minutes on dinner table or something. Just do that. Tell them that you're on a mission, and they'll also start helping you on that, right? And do an activity. I felt activity helps much better. Activity doesn't mean watching some common serial or something else. So maybe you can do a charity activity together. Log your sleep, very, very important. Yeah. Food, extremely important. Stop junk food, etc. I know it's very, very extremely, that's one of the things even I'm struggling with, but it's important, right? But if you can eat 7 meals a day that has been preset 30 days ago, you're on the path to success. Like, see, you have to make so many decisions. When you're coding, when you're learning these concepts, you have to make so many decisions. A human can make only 100 decisions. Now, if you go and now it's going to become 12:30 or whatever, 12 o'clock, it's going to be 1 soon. Then you're like, oh, what should I cook for food? Then 3 decisions are gone. So you only have 97 decisions. Instead, if you preset everything and just do it like, okay, this is what I'm going to have for lunch, dinner, and breakfast for the next 30 days, maybe 7 or 8, 10 meals that will keep rotating. I'm doing that. I'm getting a cook who's going to be doing those meals for the next 3 months. That means I don't have to do those decisions, right? Log your exercise, extremely important. And of course, this unroll me is also your brain food, right? Your brain needs food, right? Whatever is going in will only come out. So if you relentlessly scroll on Instagram and LinkedIn and all these other things, and those are all designed to show you content that will irate you, that will incite you, right? Because that's the content that gets viral. If it's not going to say, oh, a person from like one very normal background spent 80-hour weeks learning data science and he's gotten a great job. It won't show you like that. It will show you, oh, this company raised 5-10 million. This AI tool was there, and all those fancy things. It will never show you that because it knows the clicks come there more, right? Updates, I'll share it with you a little later. All right. So are you guys committed to this, to the metric? If you're committed, type COM, because November 15th-ish, I will take the poll for this, guys. Next time, I want you guys to be really, really serious and just become once in life possessed. Once, it's worth it. Like Drew Houston of Dropbox says, you only have to get in life right once. Okay, cool. So I'll tell you the update a little later. But let's go to the CV ka piece, yeah, because I found a lot of people are struggling there. Okay, we have some few comments from YouTube. So good morning, Ruchit, Rajan, Aditya Jamatia, I think you're part of this community. Why don't you just come onto the Zoom, right? From the WhatsApp. Evan, yes, that's good to meet you too. Good morning. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the CV. Okay, now let me kick off. Are you guys ready for the CV? If you are, type BIO. Yeah, one sec. Where is the CV coming from? Excellent, excellent. Okay. So as part of the interview mastery series, which I'm recording right now live, and hopefully by November, December, I should be done with as many concepts as possible for this. And this is extremely unique. I don't think it's there anywhere. Based on all the feedback, one-on-ones I've done with all you guys. Okay. So let me ask you a question in terms of, yeah, thanks Chandrakant, Ajit, Sharath, Somnath, Meenakshi, Swapnil. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you, hey Prabhu, good to see you, man. Thanks. I think this is one of your first sessions. Good to see you guys. If I've left out any name, also let me know, guys. Sharath as well. On a scale of like 100, I know you guys have done your CB scores and all that. Let's assume you have, you're great technically and all that. Let's assume you know all the machine learning code is coming out of your hands like whatever, at lightning speed. So you're good at that. CV, soft skills, on a scale of 100, how many of you, what is your rating? Just write in the chat, guys. On a scale of 100, is it at 50, 60, 80? 65, Somnath. Ajit, 62. Swapnil, 40. No, not your CV score. How important it is? How important do you think? How much importance would you give? Okay, 100. Yeah, 60. R Mula. Yeah. Rahul. Yeah. Hemang 80, 54 and 70. Meenakshi 90, 55, 95. Sila Prabhu 95. Okay, excellent. Okay, great. This is your, so everybody wants an above 90. I think looks like most of them are like that. I think many of you are lesser than that. That's fine. Okay. I want you guys to definitely go back, and I'm going to share my screen here once more because I want you guys to, some of you have missed it. It's updated in the inner circle. So for the inner circle, I have, last time we did cover these things. In the inner circle world, we covered this interview mastery. So basically LinkedIn, how do you optimize, etc. I show you, how do you go about investing in your digital photograph? How do you write cold emails? The importance of getting a LinkedIn, high paying thing, Rework, Shine, sorry, all these pieces. One second. And I've taken a poll of a few set of students. Most of them are less than 60, 60 to 90, let's say. Most of them are there. How do you set up the photo? How do you go about and try to optimize your LinkedIn banner, your LinkedIn photo, etc. And cold reaching. I think we've covered all of this. How to use Rocket Reach to get email IDs. As an intern or as a student, also you can, what email you have to write. As a full-time opportunist, if you're looking for a FTE, also, what you have to write, what you have to not write. Extremely important. I've gone and designed, everything is engineered properly, right? There's no thing as luck. You can get lucky once or twice. You cannot get lucky 90 or 100 times. If you are getting lucky, that's engineering, right? That's not nursing. You have to get into surgical mode. So I'll talk to you about tofu, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Top of the funnel is how many interviews you're getting. Middle of the funnel is how you're nurturing those hiring managers, not HR. And finally, bottom of the funnel is how you have to speak in an interview, what not to speak. We have not covered that. We'll be covering that in November, in the next few months. Organic, I've told you how to, go ahead and craft your organic profile. It's always important to get an organic thing done as opposed to inorganic. Inorganic is more about getting money and reaching out to the other people. Organic is when it's inbound, right? I've told you about LinkedIn, Instahair, Angel.co. So before all of that, and I've also given you the 5-point checklist for your budget, right? How much you have to spend minimum or average to work on your CV, to work on your visual CV, text CV, optional CV, and all the optional presentation and all that. Okay, perfect. And I've also introduced to you about Fiverr. Fiverr is extremely important because you can get fairly cheapish, for less cost, you can get good resources, right? And this is not money giving to me. You have to invest in yourself, in your resume, in yourself to get the best, to unlock the best opportunities. And frequently, the difference between let's say a 30 lakh and a 40 lakh salary is just a little bit of investment, maybe 10,000 rupees. You can get that non-linear leverage, right? And I also talked a little bit about how you can retarget employers, how you can write to them, psychology of hiring, right? And then we did the call. So if you have missed this, I would request you to go. The slides are updated. I mean, the lecture is updated. So let's go back to CV. Yeah. I'll definitely be sharing this with the community. Now, the most important thing is your curriculum vitae, right? Your curriculum vitae is, let's look at that a little closer. It's actually the first impression. I mean, I would say now second impression, but mostly still 90% of the time the first impression. I would say the rest of the real first impression is LinkedIn nowadays. But that's also the same, right? Is your curriculum vitae. Let's actually look at what is the definition of curriculum vitae. Yeah. So this is the actual definition of curriculum vitae. See, the way you do something is the way you do everything. You have to understand what is the meaning from the basics, fundamentals. Only then can you build a great big empire, right? So CV for short, let's look at Wikipedia. Course of life, often shorter. CV is a short summary of a person's career, qualification, education, right? Most commonly used in North America and British English. So it's basically your career, qualification, and education. That's it. This was the first kind of CV, in this case, 69 pages long, so on and so forth, right? Now, this is not 18th century or whatever, it's 21st century. So to that end, let's look at some of the key parts of how your CV should start looking like. Okay, first question to you guys. How many pages should a CV be? Quickly, I want answers on the chat. And guys on the YouTube also, feel free to answer that. Okay, I see a lot of nice, interesting responses. Depends on profile. Okay, yeah, Dr. Yashpal, but कुछ तो guess करना चाहिए ना, average है इसलिए. Mohit 1 to 2, Chandrakant 3, Sudhir 2, Rahul 3, Suresh 3, Swapnil 2, Chandrakant 2, Sudhir 1, Meenakshi 3, Rahul 4, Dev 1, Prabhu 3, Ajit 2, Bhaskar Reddy 2, Somnath 3. Okay, good. I see a lot of fairly diverse. Depends on profile 4. Okay, Yashpal 4. Good. Okay, another pop quiz. Just a pop quiz. Yes or no answer. Should you write your date of birth, marital status, age on your CV? Yes or no? Chandrakantji, yes. Others all no so far. Bhaskar Reddy, yes. Yes. Okay, Dave, no. Okay, Yashpal saying yes. No, sorry. Okay, good. And I'm sorry, some of you are also responding on YouTube. I don't have that. I mean, there's a little lag, so I can't respond. I'll get to your responses as well. So feel free to comment. So number one, I have given, can you see here? We are not even doing LinkedIn and cover letter. I have looked at all your resumes, and frankly, let me tell you, please take this with a pinch of salt. They are not up to the mark. Most of them are not up to the mark. It kind of sucks. You have to go first with first principles. May I speak about my thesis on how your curriculum vitae or resume should be? If yes, say BIO. Bring it on. Okay. Thanks, Rahul. Meenakshi. Yeah. Pune, I see you not responding, so maybe don't drive and be on this. Okay. Number one thing, why two fractions of society are there for date of birth, machine, photo and all that is there are only two types of CVs, I would say, that are there right now for India. United States also the first type will work. I don't know too much about the public sector in US. So for India, if you're in India, depending on your goal card, you should have the CV. If you're applying to private companies, let me repeat, if you're applying to private companies, you must not have your date of birth, photo, gender, age, all those uniquely identifying things. Simply because, anybody, any reason? ये सब क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए? Any guess?
Might be they need only about the skill set and qualification experience.
Sorry, who was that?
Meenakshi.
Yeah. Meenakshi,
they are looking for skill set mainly.
Okay, good. And?
The what do you call it? Experience what we have and how good we are at the skill set. So they have nothing to do with our age or date of birth.
Good, very good. Yeah. That I'll give you like half the points for that. Bhaskar Garu, I see you have unmuted, so. No, sir. So you don't want to speak? No problem.
Sir, can I speak?
Yeah, go for it.
The thing is that most of these companies or whatever that these sectors, they are not interested in their personal profile. They are only interested in their skills and what is their thinking about that, what will be their sparking in it, whether they are sparking towards their whatever that the task or whatever in the sector they are carrying. If they are in IT sector, so maybe they are having the sparking for IT sector or not. Maybe they are updated for that, the updated trends, current trends, whatever that thing going on. They are nothing do about serious about whatever that they are having past and whatever their gender and religion and other things.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Yashpalji. Okay, good. Bhaskar Garu, I saw you kind of unmute yourself. Did you want to speak or you want to reserve your comments later?
No, sir. Actually.
No problem. Okay. Anybody else? Prabhu, you said GDPR? You want to elaborate? Guys, since it's also on YouTube Live, just say like your name and just say, hi, I'm like Jay and this is my thought. There's no right or wrong answer. So I just want to, it's an open-ended question. This is not like what is the square root of 4? Nobody else?
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, unmuted. Yeah, Prabhu, go on.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Yeah. Most from US and India, they are not record personal details. It comes at the GDPR compliance.
Excellent. Everybody knows what GDPR is, or you can maybe tell in short if you want to. Okay. So what, I kind of will give Prabhu, a lot more points on that. So in terms of this sort of quiz, okay, number one you should understand is private companies. Guys, remember this or write it in your rough notes, not your fair notes, rough notes. Remember this: private companies today in India legally are an equal opportunity employers. What does that mean? Meaning today, I'm just making it up. Today, if I go to Infosys Infosys should not discriminate me based on three things: based on age, based on gender, based on age, gender. What is the other one? City and all these other things also. Basically, discrimination should not happen, right? It is a legal thing. It's a recipe for, it's a brewery for a huge issue. It's still, despite that, there's a lot of discrimination. I'm not going to get into that, but you all know, the salaries are not equal for genders and all that. Perhaps tech also, tech is the only place where they're normalized because, skill matters a lot more, like technical skills, not soft skills. So you should not give an opportunity to show your those things, right? So let's say I have two resumes. I'm just making it up. I'm a bad guy or whatever. And I have like one girl and a guy, and I've written here, seen the gender here and all that. And maybe I might prefer the guy. I'm taking it on myself to give this kind of lame example, but that can happen. So for private companies, you must never ever, if you're applying to a private company and that's on your goal card, just chuck all of them. Chuck your father's name, chuck means ditch, okay? Just get rid of all of them. Everybody clear about that. Type PC, private companies, both on Zoom and on this one. This is what is my understanding. I've asked somebody about this and I've come to this conclusion, right? Because some of you are here who still have that. Obviously, I'm not going to name them, but please understand the fundamentals before you go on to anything. Today, if you're applying to Google, it cannot discriminate you based on age also. If it has a 40-year-old or a 20-year-old, if you clear the Python rounds, if you clear the technical rounds, it will give you the salary. And I know for a fact, some companies like Cred and all, they do blind interviews like that. They don't even get a resume. They don't get a resume. They say, just come, walk, take the test and go. Okay. That is next level. You're not there yet, but that is next level, right? First level, do not in your CV put that. Okay. If you're applying to public sector companies, means government jobs, that can also happen. Okay. If you're applying, you must have all of these. Now, don't tell me why government of India or public companies, don't ask me like, why do they have all of this? It's just legacy, archaic. I'm not going to get into why we have outmoded rules. It happens. In fact, so one of my friends who's a Kanpur IIT professor, he says, Jay, you have to write your father's name and all that. These are some, I don't know, from British time kind of laws. They're still there. Okay. If somebody has a light, you can talk on the chat why that happens. So as a data scientist, for you should have clarity of where to go, right? If you're up, I'm not going to cover public sector company jobs for this session, at least. I don't think I'll cover it in the future also. I don't have enough people asking for that. So private companies, you must not have that. Get rid of it, right? I'm going to tell you the length of the resume also. Okay. You should have at the minimum. Okay. How many versions of resume should you have? What is version? Why is Jay asking version? Feel free to chat or unmute and talk. Just short, just one or two lines. Anybody? Yeah, Somnath, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. I think the versions are required to tune it to the audience in terms of
Brilliant.
the employer. So
Brilliant.
that's where version comes up. Yeah.
Brilliant. If you're applying to, let's say there are 3 buckets of companies: e-commerce companies, finance companies. I'm just making it up. Electric vehicle companies, right? Three kinds of companies you're making. Now your goal card will tell you where you're trying to go. You definitely know you're not going to pharma. I'm never going to pharma, at least. Maybe I might own a pharma company, but I don't want to work for a pharma. It's just boring. It doesn't interest me. So you should have, if you have 2, at least at the minimum, you should have 2 interests. To that end, let me share my, so I made versions for locations also. Let me just share with you how I stacked up my resumes. Where's this folder? Yeah, there you go. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get into my folder to. One sec, guys. I just want to navigate to the folder that I have. Okay, yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, so I'm just going to briefly show you. So at one point I was contemplating going to Canada and all that. So you must have different version resumes. Canada and US is what I was trying for. So Jayanth Rasamsetti 1. This is the first folder I had. In a folder, I've stacked all my versions. Obviously, this is location wise, USA. And I wanted specifically New York because that's where I did my master's and I wanted to get back there. Then Canada with a Canadian address, so on and so forth. I think I can't find the folder, but I also had sector wise. I was only looking for healthcare companies and miscellaneous. I only had healthcare miscellaneous. Two versions of resumes. Are you clear on two versions of resumes? It can be either geography or sector. I would first you specify sector. If you're going out of country, I know some of you are trying to, you can have geography. So that'll be 2 into 2, 4 versions. Okay. Are you clear about two versions? If yes, type V2. V2 means at the minimum, even before you write a single line of code, your end goal card should be written and where you're going and what are the specific steps you have to take to get to that. Okay. Got it. Perfect. You're clear about V2 should be sector specific. And how do you get to the list of areas you like? By writing the list of areas you don't like, right? You'll definitely not be interested in something you don't like, right? So get rid of that. You'll arrive at what you like, right? We're not going to cover how you, it's in one of my inner circle calls, how will you arrive at, how you can find out what you're interested in, right? Our mind is always a cat on the wall. It will try to jump this way, that way, because we always see the grass is green on the other side. We never believe that the grass is green where you water it. And the way to get to that is get rid of all the other things that you don't like. Okay. Okay. So make two versions. Now coming to the basic hygiene. So I've written a complete checklist here. This is the most comprehensive checklist you can ever see. Yeah. First, hygiene. Since we're doing private jobs, I want everybody to have only a single page resume unless if you have 15 years experience or you are a PhD holder. Everybody clear on that? If you're applying to FANG companies, and I keep saying FANG because they're not going to give you 2 seconds more than that, right? So today is the day of Insta Reels and all. The attention span is decreasing. One page, if you have less than 15 years of experience, font size 12 times New Roman. Times New Roman or Arial font. Single spacing line, okay? 2 pages if you have a PhD or greater than 15 years of experience. No more than 2 pages. Everybody clear on this? Yeah, Chandrakant, you're more than 2 years, 15 years. No, so you can get up to 2 pages. No more than 2 pages anywhere. Are you clear on this? If you're clear on this, type PG, page. It's tough. Take the bullet, do it. Okay. You have to conform to stereotype. Now, what is stereotype? If everybody is driving right side on the road, you can't go on the left side, let alone apply to these jobs, right? Unless you're some exceptional guy or something, which is very rare. So, I mean, not that I'm I'm just saying, I already explained, no date of birth, no marital status, no photo, nothing that will give them an opportunity to discriminate you. I've also said last time, they already discriminate you based on your social media profile and all that. That's happening, but we can't catch it. Let's say, I'm just making it up. Let's say Jayanth starts posting hate comments on Trump on his Instagram and it's there. And somebody from Google, a friend of friends sees that and he's going to be like, hey, what is this? He's not even going to shortlist my resume and you would never know it. Don't give them an opportunity to discriminate. Keep your digital footprint clean. I've talked about this in the previous lecture. Please do that. Right? One sec, sorry. How do I get rid of that? One second, guys. Somebody's Okay. All right. So now let's go back here. Yeah, name. I've already specified the name. You know, how do you have to how you have to do it in the format, right? I've given that in the last time. So Jayanth Rasamsetti means keep Jayanth Rasamsetti, single font, all that. Address, yeah. So I think I don't know why people get address wrong. Address is literally, I would prefer to keep the address in the city that you want to get the job in. I know right now it's remote and all that, but still some people are in the legacy mindset. Keep the city that you want the opportunity in, right? If it's Bangalore, just keep Bangalore, keep a cousin's address or something. They're not going to ship you some, I don't know, some offer letter. It comes in an email. It's been coming in emails in the last 10, 15 years. But at least the hiring manager will be thinking like, oh, you know what? She's in Bangalore. Let me just go meet him and all, right? Again, I don't know why people get phone numbers wrong. Your phone number should have India code, one gap, and the full phone number. If you have a US or a Canada number or whatever, Australia, it should be in this format exactly. If you're going to Canada, buy a Skype number, or buy a US number, it's $5 a month. Just keep that number like this. Any other format is wrong. I don't know, people keep some bizarre formats, right? Okay. Some of you who are deeply technical, who want to get technical, you can actually do the resume in LaTeX, right? LaTeX is a special format. How many of you are familiar with LaTeX? Just type LaTeX. Anybody knows what is LaTeX? Yeah, good, Dr. Ashford. Yeah. Okay, so LaTeX is a special way format. Just Google that for now. We're not going to cover that. Where you can write your resumes in a very nice font format and PDFs and all. Okay. Work experience. Now, what is the purpose? We're going to go deeply into the work experience piece. Right now, I just mentioned as a checklist point. The purpose is to demonstrate, okay, skills for the particular job you want to apply to or what you have done. What is that? Let me just go up. Guys, what is the answer to that? So my question to you, let's keep a yes or no. The purpose of work experience is to demonstrate what you have done. Yes or no? Okay, Swapnil, yes. Yashpal, yes. Somnath, yes. Yeah, good, very good. The purpose of work experience is exactly that. It is what you have done, right? Now, I will tell you how you should reorient or repackage it for data science or machine learning or AI or data engineering jobs. Okay. How do you build on top of that? You need a strategy. Guys, I don't know why somebody's annotating this. I would rather kick the person out of the room. Does anybody have an idea? How do I get rid of this? I would request somebody, whoever is doing that, to stop. I don't even know why it's happening. That's weird. Only I have the host access, so I don't know how somebody's able to do that.
You can restrict it via your host.
Yeah, I'm the only host.
Yeah, then you can restrict that as a setups.
Okay, sorry. How do I do that?
Probably in the security mashups, you can add that. Nothing to annotate.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much, man. Shit, that's embarrassing. As a data scientist, I didn't know that. But that's fine. Thanks. You always learn. Thank you so much. Okay, see, one more thing is, where was I? LaTeX is good. Keep one version of LaTeX, but don't do that. That's a bonus. Don't do it now. If you can do it, that's great. If not, also you can forget it. So work experience, I'll tell you specifically how to actually go ahead and add the data science and the machine learning that you're going to be learning right now, right? So let's go to that. That I'm going to cover here as a complete bullet point here. Okay, so just be patient, please. Okay, education. People also, I don't know why you're getting this wrong. So your resume format also should be in this flow, like top to bottom. So let top to bottom, right? Your name, your everything. Always work experience. I know some of your college students here. Don't worry about that. If you have less than 2 years of experience. If you're a fresher, keep your college high. It's okay. Apart from that, everybody, the work experience should be stacked on the top. Don't be embarrassed about where you work, what you work. It's okay. Just your work experience. Then finally, your education should be the bottom. Even if you're from Harvard, IIT and all, just keep it to the bottom, yeah, please. Right? Your PhD and postdoc should be the highest, guys. So highest qualification first, followed by graduation year. This is like one big mistake everybody makes. Only write the year and the month of the graduation. Please repeat. I'll repeat. Only write the graduation year. Guys, I want everybody to type GY. Graduation year. Graduation year is the year you passed out. Even if you have a gap year, write the year that you have passed out. Are you clear about that? Not the year you entered school, not the year you entered college. Nobody effing cares about that, please. It's only the graduation year. I want to know, when I look at a resume, when did the guy pass out BTech? What did he do 10 years? What did he do 5 years? That's how fast all of us will think. Same thing for you also, right? I don't want to see a single thing saying when you entered it. I'm going to show you my resume and you know, postdoc also, if you have that, just write that. Very few people are there. Your MS, MTech, MCA, all the masters should be the next. So it's PhD, highest qualification, then MS, MTech, MCA, then BS, BTech, BCA. Purpose is to, and then what subject should I write under that? Okay. Always, now what subject should I write there? Okay, let me ask you that question and say it's a yes or no. Should I write all my subjects or subjects relevant to the job? So if it's relevant to the job, just type relevant to job, RTJ. Yeah, subjects relevant to the job, guys. Just write. Sudhir, you said no. Any sort of dissonance, feel free to just talk about that. So, for instance, you might be a mechanical engineer, you might be whatever, and now you're trying to get into a data science job. That's okay. If you have taken some minor like industrial engineering or operations research or probability, write that. Nobody cares if you've done computational fluid dynamics and all that. If you have nothing, you write that. Okay. I'm just saying, if you have too many things that you have done, write only the top 2 subjects focused on the data science job. Others are irrelevant. Write your overall GPA, overall marks. This is another thing. I think some people play some dicey games. They write the top 2 subjects, highest marks. No. Even if you're a 6-pointer on 10, write that. It's okay. Even if you got 40%, it's okay. Unless you're so less, like 50, less than 50, 40, just write the top syllabus, top subject syllabus, like the best 2. Maybe you got really good in maths or something. You must write your overall GPA. There is no exception to this, guys. Same thing with BS, BTech. Purpose is to demonstrate only subjects relevant to the top. If you are a student and all that, since you won't have enough, write at least 4-5 subjects. But work experience, guys, write top 2 or 3 subjects. Okay. Guys, are you clear on this? Type CLR if you're clear on this. Awesome. Awesome, guys. See, your resume should be succinct, brief, one-stop shop, perfect like that. You should be like Bond, right? You know how impressive that makes, because that's the first point of entry for your 20, 30, 40, or even a 5 lakh or whatever, 1 crore job, right? So you must spend this time, effort, energy, money, everything. Okay, tools. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. I don't know, people write like tons and tons and tons of tools. Please don't write so many tools. My request is, if you're getting into data science, write the top 2 tools. If you're fluent with Python, just write Python. It's okay. I don't know, write Python, MATLAB, C++, C, everything. I don't know why they do that. If you're going for a deep learning job, write Python and some TensorFlow or Keras. Maximum 2, yeah, no more than that. That also you can investigate. What are the tools the company is using? Suppose you're getting into Facebook, PyTorch is important. So you should write at least PyTorch. If you don't know PyTorch, write Python. I will be very suspect of people who write like 5-10 tools. By definition, nobody can be great in 5-10 tools. You know, myself included. You just can't be. You write many tools because our brain forces us to thinking, oh, writing more means he'll hire me. That's not the way. Right? Today, they're resume blind interviews. I know for a fact in Cred and all, you just have to walk in, they'll interview you, they'll take the coding test, and then only then they'll ask you to go to the next room or bathroom and all. Interests. Again, this is extremely, like for me, weird. Write 2 interests, no more than that, demonstrating your alignment with the job, right? If there's a little bit of leadership, suppose you're trying to, again, let me take the Cred example. Cred is a fast growing startup company. They asked you for a data scientist. You're getting in, maybe they want a little bit of leadership. So you just say, I also led a team of maybe 2-3 people, something like school leadership, not school, community captain or something like that. That's enough. Don't write singing, something else. Maybe some music is there, write one instrument so that it shows that your left brain and right brain is activated. Are you clear on that, guys? If you're clear on that, type INT, interest. Yeah. Don't write so many things. I don't know why people write that. Nobody cares. Honestly, if you have something extraordinary, write that. Maybe you're Indian Idol singing some number 2 or something. That's great. Maybe you're an Indian captain or something, or some district level or sort of state level and all. That's great. Write those things. If you have that, write it. I don't have that. I wrote something very basic. I'll show you my resume also. Now, work experience, only 2 categories will exist. Prior to upskilling and 3 months before active job search. So let me write that. So let me get rid of this message. Yeah. So work experience prior to upskilling means the section which you're not. So now you're getting upskilled, right? So the section prior to that, how do you handle that? And during upskilling or 3 months before active job search. Suppose you enter the community today, it will take you 6 months or whatever, 3 months, 6 months, depending on your passion, how fast you upskill. So let's say I start applying, I want a job by next June. June is 6th. So my active job search should start 3 months prior to that. So what is that? That's March, right? From March, you should have this strategy. So 2 strategies. One is the theme before, right? How you have to reorient, repurpose your stuff there, context there, and then during upskilling, right? 3 months before, 3 or 2 months, okay? I've already given you the budget, etc. in the inner circle calls, etc. Take that, do the professional shoot and all that. Now, this is where a lot of people make mistakes. So let's go through that. Work experience. There are only 2 roles you will be applying for, guys. IC role, individual contribution role. In fact, this is where industry is moving to. Leadership role. Leadership role. Right? How many of you are applying for IC roles and how many of you are applying for leadership roles? If you're applying for IC, type IC. If you're applying for leadership, type LD. Yeah. So IC role means you'll have one boss, maximum 1 or 2. That's it. Like and you won't have a team beneath you, like directly reporting. You are responsible for the code. You're responsible for the outcomes, pretty much. Leadership means you have the ability to hire maybe 2 or 3 people. You can get some work with them, but you'll still be doing code reviews and all that, right? You can't do both, Ajit. That's not happening. That's why your goal card is very important. Yeah. Good to see you, Evan. Welcome to our call. Yeah. Now, the way you want, if you are not clear, take some time, take a weekend or 2 weekends and figure out what you want. You cannot apply to both. If it happens also, you might get a job, you might get some package. You won't be happy in 6 months. Trust me on that. You have to set your vision, yeah, Baba. Okay. Industry is all moving to IC, right? Because leaders are expensive. Even Google, I know my friend here works, IIT Bombay guy. He's like, Mama, gone are the days when they used to get 30, 40 packages here, lakh packages. They're getting all the leaders to be in the US. Again, every company's DNA changes. Here, all the back office work is coming and only ICs are being preferred. Those kind of packages are coming for ICs, right? So meaning earlier they used to hire from ISB, IMs and all. Now they're hiring more from like techies, right? So if you're an IC, there are only 3 categories here in this community. You're a senior with more than 15 years experience. You're mid-level, 5 to 15. I call everybody like less than 3 or 5 years as freshers only, or you're a student. Now, some of the concepts that I'm telling seniors and mid-level will be applicable to student also. So seniors, technical and leadership. List 2 bullet points focused on the full stack AI science. Let's go through this now. Since ICs have technically heavy, right? Technically heavy. you have to list okay, sorry, this is actually slightly wrong. Yeah. Okay, sorry, this is prior to upscaling, right? Now, list the 2 bullet points, only 2 bullet points for every 5 years of experience, 2 bullet points. Each bullet point should not have 140 characters, 280 characters, nothing more. Like there's a famous saying, right? It takes me a long time to speak only 4 or 5 words. It's easy to talk in 100 words. It's very tough to talk in 3 or 4 words. Spend time to make it brief, succinct, and what did you do in that particular job? Because it is technical. What are the top 2 technologies you used, and what is the impact you made in dollar million savings? Even though you're technical, not leadership, maybe you have to at least guess what is the million savings you've made. Now, this is where you have to posture a little. I'm not asking you to cheat, but at least ask your manager in your current workplace, what is the impact you created? Because see, employers are also looking for people who understand a little bit of business. Suppose you're in a healthcare company, let's say Cigna or whatever, I don't know, Novartis. You wrote some code. What is the impact you created? You used, let's say, Node.js and Django. You made a backend system. Today, all the clinical trials are going on that. Let's just say. So the top 2 tools are Node.js and JavaScript or something else. And I've saved, and you're not writing what you saved. Is it the saving you've impacted? Is it the top line you have impacted? What did you do? What is the outcome of what you work? People miss that out. I don't know why. Don't keep that as the major focus. Major focus should be tools, technologies. Again, keep it succinct and brief. At least write 30 characters on what is the extraordinary thing you did. So you can write lines like, turned around this project in like, let's say 60 days as opposed to 180 days. You will have that. Each one of you is extraordinary. Go back into your experience, dig deep, and you have to fetch that. See, people like something like that. Don't just write the run-of-the-mill things. I have this technology, that technology. This is like just a very bland movie, right? So for instance, if this is just me, I'll show you 2 versions of how I've written one piece. Okay, mid-level also same. I would say focus on the 2 bullet points of your previous work experience. Refactor that. What did you do? Top technologies impacted. If you don't have millions of savings or top line, just at least write in hundreds of thousands. See, everybody has a specific hierarchy in a job, right? At least you must have a little bit of sense of what you have saved or what you have done. It will be very useful for HR rounds. It will be useful on what impact you've created, right? Any questions on this? You can unmute now, and now is the time to talk. Typically, I get about 30-second questions here.
Yeah, Somnath here, sir.
Yeah, go for it, Somnath.
Yeah, like in my case, I was a little kind of confused at this point. In my case, I was a manufacturing guy, and then I moved into the IT domain, being IT manager. So how do I bifurcate my experience in terms, because it's all manufacturing experience of maybe first 5 years, and then the next 10, 12 years I've been into the IT manager domain. So how do we bifurcate the experience part?
So the first 5 years are in manufacturing, next 10 years are in IT, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But IT what? ITS or like IT only?
ITS, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay. So like I said, for every 5 years, so first 5 years, you have 2 bullet points for 280 characters, right? Next 10 years, you just have 2 bullet points. Maybe the next 10 years, you can have 3 bullet points. But in this specific format, even in the manufacturing, just write, maybe you haven't used any technology, that's fine. Just straight away hit the impact you've created.
Okay.
See, you always, all of this crafting, slicing and dicing is the end goal. What are the things I can list on the dinner table that will entice the hiring manager, right? So if manufacturing is demonstrating a little bit of leadership, little bit of multitasking, go-getter, just put those things in your version 1 resume. And the top IT can be heavily beefed up with all the technical pieces. Maybe SAP, I don't know, and all these other tools and technologies. And again, write the impact. So that way the hiring manager gets 2 impressions. He's like, okay, this guy has done, he knows man tech or manufacturing, he knows tech, so he can be useful for man tech or tech roles. and he knows the impact he's created, and the dollar value is also coming up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What is extraordinary hustle? I'll come to this. So suppose if I was writing, again, this is a little bit, I had the advantage of learning ML and AI and all. So this is my technical write-up that I have done in the last 2 years for my Sigmoid company. If I were applying for a health sciences company for AI, let's say I was applying for Novartis for a 30 lakh job, this is what my line would look like. I use generative adversarial networks. What is GANs? It comes in deep learning, CNNs. Maybe for a 50, 60 lakh job, this is very good. To build proprietary AI models, I would write AI. Actually, AI is implicit. To classify healthy versus unhealthy for 210 clinics and 1.1 million patients. That's true. What is not true is that I didn't do this. Like my staff did it. In addition, I used natural language processing to automate doctor reports. Clear and succinct. Guys, you clear about this? If you're clear about, I mean, this is what I have done. You have definitely done these things. You just have to write, see, it's in that format. It's less than 280 characters. It has exactly the technical tools I've used, what I have done, and what is the impact, little bit of impact I've created. I didn't keep a dollar value, but how many patients I impacted I kept. Same thing, I'm going to come to this section, but if I was doing this in a leadership way, this is what I would have written. Same thing in a leadership way. Guys, can you see this? If I was applying for a leadership role within Novartis, this is what I've written. Led, recruited, trained a team of 8 developers to develop a product, Sigmoid.com, for 210 clinics, 1.1 million patients, because there straight away the top is that. And for AI imaging software, ScreenRad. Additionally, help develop Bootstrap, TextRad, NLP, computer vision. You see, I have not mentioned the technical words there. How many of you are clear by this? How many of you are clear on this? Type CLR, guys. You must be absolutely clear what you're applying to, right? If you're so confused, you want to apply to leadership and individual contributor roles, then have 2 versions of that, right? Same experience should be having a flavor depending on the audience, guys, right? So technical piece, this is my example. You have examples. You are already doing great work, guys. You have impacted people. Nobody's going to be for a decade of experience without having created impact. You have to dig deep, go deeper, use the right words, etc. Okay. Now for students, my request is, again, students, a lot of you guys are writing so many certificates I got, so many, what's this called, hackathons and all. That's good. I would write the outcomes, right? Instead of, unless you have some really great certification, write the outcomes in terms of like, did this hackathon or did this certification and learned these things like NLP or CNN or simple NumPy, learned this, right? Fluent in Python. That's more than, right? This mind map, Pankaj. Yeah, I mean, we share it to the community members. Yeah. At the end, yeah, we'll see that. Okay, cool. So guys, you clear about this? So let's now go. Yeah, now let's go to what you have to do 3 months before your job search. Are you guys all ready? 3 months before job search. So these are the points I have written. If you're ready, type 3 months, 3M. Yeah. So 3 months before you do the job search. This one, Pankaj, will be done in maybe 10 15 minutes. Yeah. Originally I thought 12:30, but it'll be. So now you'll have to come into the kind of our paid community to get access to all of this, right? Yeah. Hope that works. Okay. 3 months before job search. Now this is something I'm also sort of working on, making it full blown. If you're in the data science piece, right, it's okay. Even if you're fully work experience and all that, this is the form. I want you to list in a full stack way what you have done, right? List simple things like Python, NumPy, Pandas, etc. Databases, if you've worked on something, maybe some SQL, etc. Statistics piece, again, depending on the version of the company you want. Suppose if you're applying for actuarials, then statistics piece has to blow up a little more. You have to do a little bit of research. right? Write the skills that you've learned in this course or going to learn in this course. By that time, before you apply for job, you will have learned this, right? Going through all the curriculum. R square, adjusted R square, what is P value, what is T statistic? Basic simple things. Don't do anything high funda, right? Don't put all the algorithms and sprinkle. If you sprinkle salt, sugar and everything, the dish is just going to go bad. The models are linear regression, logistic, ridge, lasso. They're pretty much enough, more than enough, right? Next, write about the data set used. Don't write run-of-the-mill things. So we're going, once you finish the sprints and all, none of these, you're going to get into like a small project. Write a unique data set. Don't write these, Titanic data set and all. Some of you are a little later in the community, like Dave and all will attest, because thousands of resumes, thousands of people, academies, all going and doing the same thing. Everybody's making biryani, right? Now, unfortunately, this is not the human food esophagus that loves the biryani every day or every 2 days. Employers hate that. Use a unique data set. Corona data set is new. Corona in your district, something unique, some cricket data set, make a data set. It's okay, right? Key inferences. Even if you tell, hey, you know what, I was able to predict whatever, that CSK is going to win based on this, and I did like one simple linear regression, your resume is going to stand out. As opposed to doing 10 hackathons, 20 certification courses, buying here, there, everything. No, 1 or 2 things. Do one thing 100 times. Don't do 100 things, right? Once. What did you do specifically? And what are the key inferences? By using linear regression, able to improve the model. That's it. You'll get there. I know some of you just joined, you'll get there. Can you defend that orally? At least 3-4 marks, etc. Practice with community members, etc. Can you defend that, right? Next, deep learning, machine learning. So all of the below, plus you'll be getting into supervised, unsupervised, KNN, random forests, XGBoost, etc. Again, same. What does the data set use? What are the key inferences? I've told time and again, don't learn more than 12 models. Mind will be pushing you. You'll have so much of internet. Internet is determined to confuse you, right? It's also it's a great information source, misinformation source. Just learn these 12 models if you're in the machine learning, by the time you hit the job market, right? Again, dataset use, key inferences, etc. Same thing for deep learning. All of the below, if you're in the deep learning piece, my request is start mastering one, either computer vision or text mining. That's it. Plus, you need to be fluent in the deployment, right? Which is TPU, GPU, or Kubernetes, one of them. We have those modules as well, right? Because they want end-to-end, right? The best jobs are going there, right? If you want to break that barrier of 40-50 lakhs, that's right there, or in that order, right? Same thing, data set size used, end-to-end. This is where I would also, from machine learning data science also, you should start writing blogs. Go back to that section where I talk about the lesson where I talk about inbound, right? Write a 2,000-word article once a month, high quality article. Don't write more than that. If you're good on camera, come on YouTube. If you're not good on camera, come on podcast. All right, cool. So that is public sector I don't have. So next time, hopefully you'll be able to cover LinkedIn and a cover letter. Cover letter is fairly easy. I've given you cover letter samples also, but we'll go a little, maybe spend a little bit of time on that, right? Cool. So now with this, I will go to, as usual, our question for the inner circles. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you my resume, right? Okay, so I have made the my own resume according to this. Now, different formats are there everywhere, guys, but so I've used Times Roman only. Font size is 12, single spacing, right? Why do I do all of this? Also, I'll tell you. Pankaj, next session is next week, but this is for inner circle community, guys, right? Yeah. Request you not to be patient, asking the same question again and again. So experience is important. Jibber Technologies is a registered company only. Earlier I was doing, so I've written this from a leadership perspective. You can tweak, mix, match. Earlier, I had another company. I've written what I did specifically. Both these are little over 140 characters, but I would keep only 140 characters. Succinct and brief. When did I end this? I haven't ended this. Like, as you can see, I'm still running my company. I used to be the mentor at Talent Sprint, Great Learning. I haven't updated Great Learning and all. I've done that in Google, LinkedIn. I should be doing that, but I'm not applying for any more jobs. This I just prepared so that, sometime back, like I said, I was trying to move to Canada and all that. Where did I do the certification, right? In Sophie, clearly, what is the project I worked on? If you need more details, I kept a Google Drive link, short Google Drive link, right? If you have time, patience, and which I would strongly request, make your own website on your own domain, like swapniljadhav.com. It's okay. 1 or 2 pager with one small photograph is fine, right? And what are the subjects I learned there? Big data, time series clustering, some simple things, right? I think this was for a training job that I was trying to do. My phone number in that exact format, my email ID. Now, why did I list this email ID? Because at least they'll see Columbia and maybe there'll be a pull factor, right? Education also neatly. So MX was little less time. So exactly when I ended. So I give very specifically the format of when I started, when I ended. My US education at Columbia, I've given specifically only the courses that might be useful. I've given 3 courses, but 2 courses is enough. And again, same format, IIT Madras, what I did, my bachelor's, what I did my master's, only the top 2 courses that I felt useful for that. And again, tools also, I wrote scripts, only Python, Keras. I'm really good in OpenCV. The R also I knew, I think I can get rid of R. And one thing is, I love triathlon or running. I used to write skydiving also. That's it. Only things that are relevant for getting a job, guys. Now, this is the format I would request you guys also to take it, right? So coming back to, guys, are you clear about this? Type CLR again. Let's do the, okay, great. Mind will always want to push more things. Don't. It takes at least 3 times more effort to get it down to like, to succinct brief, to high precision thing. One second. Okay, so we're going to take that one question for the week and wrap up the session, guys. Yeah, so you have 2 minutes. Just, oh yeah, update. Okay, let me just put a timer for 2 minutes. Sorry, let's put 4 minutes, I guess. Let's do 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Type the one question you want to ask me, and I'll talk to you about the update. Thanks, Ajit, for reminding.
Yes, sir, I had Somnath here. I had a question around.
Go for it, Somnath.
Yeah, on one side you say the preparations on the LinkedIn profile and the CV have to start around 3 months prior to the job start search. And we at the start of this course itself, we are discussing this. So how do you expect us to plan? So do you want us to focus on the CV and the part stuff like and start working on it? Or you are seeking kind of
Let me answer that. So actually, see, this is like a flipped classroom model, right? So different people are at different points. So what we do is we kind of rotate the sessions. So right now, it so happens like you have to follow the path. Start with the goal card, start with the data science finisher award or machine learning finisher award, then the deep learning, if as the case might be. Job mastery is something I'm actually recording and putting these sessions up for the job mastery section. Does it make sense? It so happens you're in that.
Okay.
That's the
Got
thing.
it. Got it.
Because many members joined in like May-ish. That like Ashok has not come, etc. So he's applying and also. So you've parachuted right now into like one cycle, but there'll be a time. So once you finish all of these pieces, you can view these lectures as well. Yeah. You have to follow the path. Okay, cool, guys. So time's up. I hope 1 second. Let me just look at the responses. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go and look at some of the questions we have. Okay, Meenakshi, coming from teaching profession, how can I make my CV more appealing to the recruiters? Yeah, good. So, Meenakshi, it really depends on your outcome, right? So there are, let's say, you can unmute yourself and talk. Like, which kind of recruiters you're talking about? Like, are you looking at IT companies or teaching companies? What are you looking at?
Like after doing this data science course, so like what are the opportunities like that that I can look for?
Okay, no problem. And may I ask, what is the salary bracket you're expecting?
So like I'm completely new to this domain, so I really don't have idea about it.
Okay, see, okay, fine. Let me answer that for you. See, if your goal card says, let's say I'm looking for IC roles, like heavy coding roles, etc. Starting salaries are from between 5 to 12 lakhs. Really depends on, how you want to, how ambitious you are, how audacious you are, right?
Okay.
That is one approach you have. I have a second approach for you that I'll tell you also. That is one approach. You have to be heavy duty, like in picking up Python, coding, etc. That's all good. And you should do that because the barrier to entry is also high. See, whenever something is tough, obviously not everybody can get in, right? That's a good thing. See if that is fulfilling for you. If you're a teacher, I have a different path for you, which is completely different. Why don't you learn data science and teach data science? You can actually make more money. I'm not kidding. Serious.
Okay.
So then what I would request to you is look at companies like Great Learning, Talent Sprint, Simply Learn, and all these other, like obviously all competitors. But I would actually hustle and think like that. If you actually become a teacher, your role is more of a coach, plus threshold concepts, right?
Yeah.
Then learn, get a foot in the door there. I can introduce you to somebody at Simply Learn also once you're ready. If you like teaching, I like coaching, I like teaching. See, I have 3 things going on for me. I believe to learn, to be at the cutting edge of anything, you do 3 things: teaching, which I'm doing through Pixeltests, my product/consulting company, which is Sigmoid, and my research company. Okay. Only if you have these 3 things, your knowledge is going to go to the next level, right? Many people only do 1 or 2 things, right? So I think if you can focus on teaching, learn these things and teach in an institute, you can easily make 15 lakhs also. See that if that interests you for 1 or 2 years. If it doesn't, then you can move back to IC role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Because many people don't like teaching. Many people just are not patient enough. They're not good on camera and all those things. So that's fine. So whatever you are comfortable and what is your risk appetite? Okay. Do we have to focus on communication skills or the knowledge? Both, Pankaj. Pankaj, so the way I would look at that is, see, all of this is assuming your technical skills are sound, right? So once you come into my paid community and all that, we have these checkpoints and all. So this is assuming, batting, bowling, fielding. Like once you finish that, only this is the next leg. So you kind of, again, parachuted to this, but it's fine. Because if you communicate well, there's another problem. Guys, can anybody tell me what is the problem? No, seriously. You can unmute yourself and tell. What happens if you're great at communication, but bad technically?
You will reveal your mistakes as well.
Exactly. So, great marketing can take a great product to the next level. Great marketing can destroy your reputation also. People will figure out very quickly that you're just full of words, but hollow substance. So be very careful about that. And data science hiring managers are smart. Okay, if somebody's hiring in like a reputed company, that means he's gone through the hoops. Means his IQ is high. See, this is, I mean, again, not dissing at somebody. This is not some low-level technology. So you're not dealing with low IQ people. You're dealing with high IQ people looking for ambitious, conscientious, hardworking, aggressive people. So don't do that. You can't walk into like a Flipkart interview with hollow thing. They'll just reject you, sir. So be careful about that. But if you have good technical skills and good communication skills, you'll be next level, right? And if you have good sales skills, you'll be somewhere else, like Elon Musk and all, right? Okay. How would the role be fitted for a person 15 years experience in non-data science background? What values would be expected from such an individual to contract to an IC?
It's contrast to an individual contributor. Yeah. It's a typo. It's a contrast, not
okay.
contract. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand this way. How would the role be fitted for a person?
So basically, I'm trying to understand how the person with greater than 15 years of experience, what skills other than learning the machine learning and data science, what other aspects that has to be focused, in terms of capstone projects and sort of showing or, articulating the experience, that sort of a thing for a leadership role and that sort of a thing. That's what I'm trying to understand. Yeah.
My request to you is first you watch this Hall of Fame with me and Shekhar on my YouTube. He worked in Accenture and all. He has a lot of years of experience. Only bottom line answer there would be sales.
Okay.
Sales.
Right.
Why also? Analytical and sales. See, I'll tell you. See, why is data science, sales important? Data science is like, you'll be like, are you crazy? Why are you talking about that? See, data science is about experimentation, right? You have to have a lot of use cases being experimented. So there are two things. One is, suppose I'm just making it up. Suppose you come up with a new idea. You're in Novartis. You get into Novartis. You're getting 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. Your job is to get lots of use cases correct, right? And maybe you've come in to the team saying that, you know what, I'm going to increase the bottom line, the profitability, not the top line, the bottom line. Now, and then, okay, now it's Corona going, and this is actually mildly true also. That's why so you say, okay, vaccine has to be discovered very fast. So vaccine has 3 steps. And I was telling this also yesterday. Vaccine has step 1 is, done on mice. Step 2 is done on, chimpanzees, and step 3 is humans, right? So now you want to accelerate that because vaccine time, turnaround time has to be faster. So you propose 3 or 4 use cases to your manager, hiring manager and all. So only you and your hiring manager are data science evangelized. Your first job as a sales guy is you should first talk to other teams, the data team, the compliance team, the team in Basel in Switzerland, all these other teams you have to tell, hi, and you have to beg them, give me data, and all that. So you're doing sales there.
Right.
And once you get that, you must present them to hiring your managers and top level saying, I've done this use case. I spent, let's say $100,000, 60 lakhs on this using company money, and I've brought in some savings of 1 crore. then you present to them, then they'll give you a full-fledged budget of, let's say, 5 million, right? So, and data science use cases are tricky. You have to try 4 or 5 experiments to get one correct. But if you get that correct, you'll be somewhere else, right? So sales is a skill I think many people lack. Sales doesn't mean speaking well and all. Sales means being a cockroach, being open to rejection. Being a cockroach, being open to rejection. And sales is also evangelizing. See, if you want data, you need data to make a data science model anywhere, right? You have to go and acquire the data. We struggle to get data. Mouse data means you have to go and to animal department of Novartis to get data. Animal department is one complete shithole department. But you have to keep telling them every day, no, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, etc. You have to be a nice person. See, these are not established sciences like Java, I need a button, WhatsApp is not working, so the integration should be done and all that. This is not something established like that. You're still in the cutting edge. So that means you have to move fast, you have to sell, you have to fail fast and all those things. That's what I would recommend.
Right. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, no problem. How can I apply data science to us healthcare claims processing? Healthcare claims processing seems very specific. So I think maybe, I don't know if you're working in United Health Group and all. I've seen only one use case there. I think, see, there are many use cases I've seen in claims. We work with one client in US for what's it called? Not DICOM, sir. So I'll tell you the workflow, Chandrakant. My workflow, I don't know what is your workflow, because that's a very specific, good question. The workflow there was when a person used to come, like a patient used to come, the first thing they do is the insurance check. That's what they do. That insurance check was done in a mainframe. Now in that mainframe, instantly we would figure out if the person had Medicare coverage or no, or if you had to pay a thing called, is that a premium or some copay? If you have to pay copay. So insurance in US works slightly differently, right? So seems like this is a US use case that I'm assuming you're doing. Chandrakant, can you?
Yes, you are correct, Jay.
Yeah. So what we did there was, so we were a startup, like I was trying to get projects. So we did, the only use case I did is I was trying to map 2 to 3 different like legacy softwares and just automate the process. There was no AI also.
Yeah.
So that was we as a startup. I don't have a specific idea, but you can look at if you have a printout, like if you have printed records, how do you look at OCR and reading out the key parameters? Maybe those kind of things you can do.
Yeah, that's what I am looking for, because we have implemented most of the automation process. We have saved the claim resolutions also.
Okay.
So the way you have explained for the cost saving and all, there's the resume.
Yeah.
So that's what part we are looking for. Okay. Because I was part of continuous improvement.
Yeah.
So looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
I've joined the data science also.
Yeah. Sorry, Chandrakant, where are you working? UHG, is it?
No. I was working for a US company, Highmark, but it was into a BPO for IBM.
Yeah.
It was with IBM Dux, and later it went to Concentrix Dux. Since 2019, as I read about AI, I am following the AI only.
Good.
So I'm studying the AI part itself.
But for OCR and all these things, you need deep learning. OCR and all you do it in data science, machine learning. I mean, at least.
So this is my first step to start with. I will move to deep learning as well.
Yeah. But one more problem you'll find is data. We found it very, because US, see, you are working for an MNC, maybe it's their headache to fetch the data. My problem was nobody was giving me healthcare data. That's it. Because of HIPAA compliance. Yeah.
Even we used to struggle for data for the courses for projects. But if you are into those companies, if they have captive companies in India, they have some processes here only. So you don't get those problem of getting the data. If it is given to some third party, then the data problem comes. So we have few companies in India, those who are running here captively.
Yeah.
So as I complete this course, maybe I get a chance to work those companies, and I will play with that data and make something sort where it will be either save the cost or it will flourish the process, finalize the process.
No, healthcare is the biggest opportunity, no doubt. 8.97 billion.
Yes.
I was unsuccessful in the AI piece. Automation can be done, and we had a disadvantage. We were too small to go through that friction. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank.
Thanks, Chandrakan. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap it up?
Jay, I've got one question. I mean, sorry, I didn't write it down. So the thing is, just tell me, I mean, I find it very difficult to switch industries. I mean, I have been associated with BFSI for almost 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm already in data science domain. The thing is, I wanted to switch career into healthcare probably, but the entry barrier is very high. I mean, I don't have experience in healthcare and I'm not able to, get opportunity to work with those companies. So what should be the, lookout or way to process that?
So you're in BFSI, Sam, and how many years you have experience? A decade?
7 years. 7 years.
Okay. And data science, you're fluent in Python programming and all that?
Yeah. I have done masters in data science.
Okay, good. And may I ask why healthcare?
I mean, because my engineering is into biotechnology, so I wanted to come back to that field, and it is high-paying job as compared to BFSI.
Okay. And may I ask, based on what was that insight? Like, why?
I mean, during my engineering only, I know biochemistry. I mean, this biomedical things wherein the coding is done.
So you're in bio. So you're talking about health sciences, not healthcare.
Yes. No. Health sciences.
No, I agree. Yeah, health sciences. See, so you'd be okay with like a job at Novartis kind of a place?
Yes. I applied a couple of times, but I got rejected every time.
Which department? I know Renuka. I know the head of India Biome.
Okay.
What was the rejection email like? What was the feedback? No feedback.
I mean, it's just that someone referred me, and the mail I got is we find some others.
Can you code like convolution neural networks and all that?
I did. As of now, I don't have hands-on because ANN, RNN, CNN I have worked on.
See, one thing is, if from the little bit I'm getting, I don't think the entry barrier is high. So if you come back to like the pieces I've told today lecture, I know you've come ad hoc, but if you go back, you have to really focus on your tofu, mofu, tofu. Let me share that once. Can I share that once? Yeah. The people, So when you go to once you come into the paid community or presuming, so there's a specific way you want to think about your job application process. People think it's like one abstract thing. It is not abstract. There's a science behind everything. You have to find out the process, Sam. So what is your tofu? Like if I ask you, I can tell if a person is serious about the job search. I mean, so again, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just telling what people miss. Even I was there. You got to really nail your funnel. What is a funnel? People don't think of a job application as engineering. They think of it like some abstract. They think of it like love. I mean, sorry, I'm telling these, but really. So you got to have your tofu. Now, what is tofu? There's a top of the funnel, Sam. There's a middle of the funnel. There's a bottom of the funnel. Top of the funnel means how many jobs are coming in through referrals, through friends, ex-colleagues, etc. So I cover all of this here. And then next, so tofu doesn't mean just applying somewhere, waiting for the ATS. Have you checked your job score? So that's for the first thing you should do. If it's only about 90 and using the process, if you've been to today's lecture, you should get about 90, right? Get about 90, get ranked at least in the first sheet of LinkedIn, otherwise you're gone, right? Then go to MOFU. MOFU means you must know exactly the hiring managers you want to work for. See, there are two ways to do things. One is a spray and pray quantitative way. Spray and pray quantitative way is like how people apply for like hundreds of jobs and they're praying that something happens. They are completely unaware about take only 8 jobs. So craft your goal card, take only 8 jobs that you want to really work for. How do you know that? Look into the hiring managers you want to work for. Look at their Twitter accounts. Look at their webinars, something like that. Then go back. Okay, these are the 8 companies I want to work for. Let's say I want to work for Novartis. I want to work for UHG. I want to work for Geeta's company, the Nirmay, that's a startup. She can pay well. And then you go back and you say, okay, how do I reach out to her? How do I target her? How do I retarget her? That's the only way to do it. Turns out, even if you spend 15 minutes on 8 companies, that's 120 minutes, that's 2 hours. It's the same time you would have carpet bombed about 200 companies, right? Let's assume 120 companies you apply, 1 minute each.
True.
So without having a funnel, you don't know where the friction will be. And you have to measure your friction. Every point where the friction is. So I even give that. Like applicant tracking system is where 99% of the people have no effing idea where they're going. ATS rejects because ATS, for on average, apparently Naukri said that, I think even McKinsey, apparently the friction is for one role, you get more than 500 applications. On 100, I think for average. For data science is 500. So knowingly, unknowingly, you're competing with 499 other people. Now, half of them are not worth it, but still you're competing with them. So you have to stand out. The problem is the matching algorithm is not correct. You seem like a genuine guy. The other person is also genuine, but the matching is bad, right? This is like marriage. So you got to like really, to game the system, you got to first know the system, build the system, then you work on where you're going wrong, because you're not even getting to the shortlist. If you said, Jay, I'm getting like jobs, but they're lowballing me, that's a different discussion. You're not even getting shortlisted, right? So that's kind of, you have to tweak that piece of the friction.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap up for a nice Sunday beer or whatever? Cool. Wait, let me just double check if I finished every question here. Sorry. All right. I think all the questions are done. Okay. Thanks for your time, guys. I hope you have a great Sunday. Now I'll go and sleep. You've finished your sleep. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Bunny. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ajit. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. If you have a minute or two, I can update. So the update is we are launching. Pixeltests is collaborating. It's in the final stage. The MOU has been signed and all. We just need one more sign of opening up a joint crypto / introduction to blockchain course with IIT Madras. So that's the update, guys. And yeah, thanks, Evan. Yeah. So that I'll share more details as it comes. So you guys are the first people. I literally told my mom, and actually yesterday I told one more person. So that's going to come up. So those of you, so you'll get a certificate of IIT Madras if you're interested in that course. Maybe by December we'll launch it. So I'll keep you posted on more details. How many of you are interested, or how many of you would know who are interested? Yeah, Bhaskar, I told you, right. If you're interested, just type INT, and then when time comes, I'll reveal a lot more information. That's IIT Madras. There's only Great Learning partnered with them for that. We're going to be the next guys. So I was like, finally, I didn't study well in IIT to go with the director, and because I never got great marks. But at least for signing this MOU event, I felt like very weird. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll send out on our private WhatsApp. So it's called Introduction to Blockchain and Cryptocurrency. It is not about crypto investing. We're trying to do another course, but it's about how can you make tokens? How can you go this one? Because that's the next big thing, right? And it's not taught by me. It's taught by Professor Pandurangan, who's an emeritus professor. He's an IISc now. He's like 60-year-old and all that. He's like a legend in the field, right? So hopefully you won't see too much of my face. All right, guys. Yeah. Just ping me on WhatsApp so that I can, I'll just collect all of this. We're doing a launch, and also we're going to ride the wave of all the launch and all that. Yeah. You guys will get the first info because you're in this community. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you. Bye-bye.